friends. I'm Karen, and this is the Family Food for Moms podcast. We're talking about inspiration for family cooking and dining. I'm going to do 2 shorter episodes this week about hospitality. The first one will be tips about hospitality and what can make it easier for you. And then the second one will be ideas that you can use for your meals when you have guests over. It's always a good idea to have meals planned in advance. So we'll talk more about that in the episode on Wednesday. So talking about hospitality, it always works out a lot better than we expect, doesn't it? Hopefully, most of the time. And I think what's important is to remember that it's about the people and the connection and the fellowship and not about being perfect or having everything just right. You really want to make it low stress for yourself. Otherwise, you're not going to do it. And sometimes I've fallen into the trap, even with extended family, of trying to make everything perfect because I feel like they're judging me when actually what they remember is the special things, the connection, the memories. So here are a few practical hospitality tips for moms focused on making it doable, meaningful, and even fun for your kids instead of stressful. So keeping it simple. Simple is the secret. It doesn't need to be fancy to be memorable. So you can choose maybe 1 or 2 special touches instead of 10. And serve easy, repeatable meals. We're going to talk about some ideas for those. Things that you plan ahead and you know what you're going to make, and they're pretty easy, like pasta or on the grill or burger night, etc. A very good tip is to create a go-to hospitality menu. So have 2 or 3 reliable meals that you can make anytime if you're going to have people over. So we'll talk about that more in detail, what those could be in the second half of this episode. Then involve your kids. It's very important to make sure that they're part of things and also that you give them attention beforehand. I'm notorious for getting busy and stressed and then kind of ordering people around without. It's like you want it to be fun. Otherwise, what's the point? So involving them makes them feel special, especially young kids. Older kids can do some of the cooking or they can do the grilling, setting the table, etc. So letting the younger kids choose decor for the tables, assigning somebody as the drink server or the greeter or giving them napkins to fold. They could make place cards, name tag cards, or little drawings for each guest, anything special. And then older kids can help prepare and cook. So this makes it a group project, a special together thing that you can do. We're at the stage where our older kids love to have friends over themselves and cook for them and do everything, and we just kind of get out the way. It's great to pass on that hospitality to our children. So we're really aiming for relaxed feeling, people feeling welcome, like the home is warm and they easily feel comfortable. There'll be laughter, there'll be good conversation, maybe games, as opposed to a spotless house, fancy food, everything being perfect, and then everybody feeling a bit awkward because they need to keep it that way. So more decorating ideas, you can use fairy lights inside glasses or jars with some greenery. You could use candles. I like electronic candles that change color, but you can use natural honey candles or whatever you have. I also love beeswax candles, but I prefer not to light them because they just get used up so fast and they're kind of expensive. So clean the main areas in your home, but don't make it stressful and overwhelming. So maybe the bathroom they'll be using, the seating area, and then open your windows a bit to air the house. Maybe play some soft background music, but you don't need to clean everything. You can decide in advance if you're comfortable with guests in your kitchen helping, or if you want to say, no, you go and sit and relax. I'll be with you soon. And then the rest of the family can entertain them while you and maybe one of your children do some cleaning up or leave some cleaning up for afterwards. Just plan in advance what you want to do. And then the goal of hospitality is to make people feel seen and appreciated and loved. So asking questions about them, simple questions that they can easily answer to get the conversation going, put phones away, and linger over parts of the meal or with drinks in your lounge. So if you're relaxed, your guests are going to be relaxed. Then something I always talk about is courses. I really enjoy doing meals in courses instead of all in one. And this may sound complicated, but it's actually not. It just means having a part of the meal first, like your vegetables, like some long stem broccoli or some sweet melon or something fancier like a shrimp cocktail. And then you give everybody a chance to eat that, to relax and to talk and to feel comfortable. And then you serve your meat, maybe your potatoes, and then you serve your dessert. And it's so simple, but it really stretches the meal out so that there's time for people to relax, time for connection. I usually find after the first course, maybe during the second, is when people really start to relax and talk. And it's much easier for you as well because it's not too many things at once. People can breathe in between courses and chat. You can get the next course ready, and you can also involve your kids perhaps in helping with one specific course. And it also makes your table setting nicer because you can layer your plates, etc. We like to use charger plates or underplates sometimes. And we like to use our fancy cutlery, our gold cutlery, fancy glasses. But you do what makes you feel comfortable in a setting for hospitality. So then prepping ahead is a great plan because it saves your sanity in a lot of ways. So chop veggies or prep one of the courses early. Make sure your table's all set in advance and choose meals that can sit a little bit in the oven that's warm but off or reheat easily so that you can be present with your guests and not stuck in the kitchen. And if there's going to be young children accompanying their parents, maybe set up a small little table in the corner with a bit of Lego or some coloring in or puzzles to do so that they have a place where they feel they belong. And it helps you to chat more with parents. You could have a hospitality basket ready in your home. It could have some extra napkins. It could have specific tea and coffee supplies that you don't normally use. It could have a simple packaged dessert like biscuits or rusks or chocolate. Could have your candles or anything that you don't have space for normally that you can just grab and quickly add to the table for hospitality. And also having a treat of some kind ready to go in case you have unexpected guests. It's really helpful to have maybe a roll of cookie dough in your freezer that you can slice and bake very fast, some frozen muffins you can warm up, ice cream with a few toppings. Those make it easier to welcome guests that are perhaps not planned. And then starting small, micro hospitality. So it doesn't have to mean full dinners. You could invite a family for tea and cake or biscuits. You could just have a simple coffee and a chat. You could come for dessert. So, whatever you do, focus on being present and enjoying the connection during the meal. In the next episode, I'll talk a bit about specific ideas for planning ahead when you have guests, food ideas that you can do. Thanks for listening today. I'll see you next time to talk more about hospitality.